Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the new 7-inch Deluxe The Terminator T-800 police assault figure from NECA Toys. Now this figure comes in a similar style packaging we see with all their Deluxe figures. It's that book style of packaging. On the front, we have some artwork featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you have Schwarzenegger's name really big up at the top, and the Terminator movie logo down below. On the side, we again just have the Terminator movie logo, and then on the back of the box, we have images of the figure, and then you've got some writing on the side. It kind of looks like the data that you would see through the Terminator's eye in the movie. And then this box opens up. It's attached with Velcro, and on one side you have again an image of the figure, and then on the other side the figure is clearly displayed along with all the accessories. Okay, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. Now before we look at the figure, let's first take a look at all the accessories this figure comes with. We get 3 different weapons with this figure. We get the shotgun and the AR-18 assault rifle, and you see him use these in the police station. After he drives the car through the wall, he pulls these out of the car and starts blowing everybody away with them. And I like the sculpting detail. They're just done with black plastic, so they really don't have any paint detail. But I do like the sculpting detail, like on the assault rifle. You've got this spare magazine that's sculpted, that's taped to the side of the other magazine, so I like that detailing. And then I like the pump action with the sculpting there. And the pump doesn't actually work, but I do like the sculpting of it and everything. So really like the way the weapons look. And then finally we get this third weapon, a little snub-nosed pistol that's done with a metallic silver, and you've got the brown handle. And you see him use this at later on in the movie when he's chasing after Reese and Sarah, and he's on the motorcycle. After his rifle runs out of ammo, he pulls this out and starts shooting at him with it. Besides the weapons, we get 3 different head sculpts with this figure. The one that's attached to the figure when you first open it is this one with the sunglasses, and this is very similar to the alternate head that we got on the Technor figure that NECA released, which makes sense since, you know, this figure is kind of a continuation from this figure. And the sculpting between the two is almost identical. Again, it's just got the added sunglasses. The skin tone between the two is different. This one is more pale than this one, but the lines on the face and the facial expression and everything seems to be identical. So I think it's the same face sculpt, they just added the sunglasses. And then we get a second head. So when he's chasing Sarah and Reese on the motorcycle, you know, Sarah knocks him off the motorcycle, you know, jams the truck into the motorcycle and knocks him off. And so after he first gets up off the road, this is the second head that we get here is kind of how he looked when he first is picking himself off the road after he gets knocked off the bike. And basically the sunglasses are now gone, and you can see his damaged eye that he effected repairs on at the hotel room. Now if you're wondering, you can switch these between the Technor figure and this one. If you wanted to, you can switch these heads out. They are interchangeable, so not only do you have alternate heads for the figure you just bought, if you have the other figure, then you can stick this one on there as well, and it kind of fits. And the third head is much more battle damage because he's just been run over by the semi truck, so you've got more metal pieces showing up here on his forehead and on his chin, and he's got a lot more scrapes and bruises on this side as well. He's got scrapes and blood and everything. So I like the detailing with this third head. I think this is kind of the coolest looking head of the bunch. You still got his eye that's exposed and everything. And then to go along with the battle damaged face, we also get a pair of extra hands. So you see when he's getting run over by the semi truck, his hands kind of reach up to grab the bottom of the truck, and you see his fingers are all scraped up and everything. So that's what these hands are based on. To switch out the hands, you just pull out the one, you've got the little peg inside, and then you just plug in the alternate hand. And it can be a little bit tight at first for both the hands and the heads, so you might need to take something like a blow dryer to loosen up the plastic, but once you do that, then they should snap into place pretty easily. For the rest of the figure, I think they've done a nice job with the sculpting and paint applications. He's got this leather jacket that he wears, and the jacket itself is a separate piece that's glued on, and then the sleeves of the jacket are actually sculpted, and you've got some nice sculpting detail with the wrinkles and everything. And then on the jacket you've got these little belt pieces that kind of hang off the bottom, and he's got zippers and silver snaps, and overall really nice sculpting detail on it. Looks like a leather coat, and you've got some bullet holes throughout on the coat as he's walks around the police station and stuff. He gets shot multiple times. And you got little red rings around the holes for blood, so I like that detailing. Another one here on the side, and then more here on the back of the coat. You know, he gets shot several times in the back when he's walking down the hallway. So just nice detailing with that. The shirt underneath doesn't have any bullet holes or anything, and it's done with just a gray coloring. And then the pants themselves are done with a blacker, or not black, but brown color, a dark brown color, and you have some wash effects to give it some added texture. So I like that, and like the little wrinkles and everything. Now I do want to point out there is a little bit of coloration where it looks like the joint has maybe rubbed up here near where the leg meets the waist piece. It's not a big deal, but just wanted to point that out. He's got pockets on the side here, and then he's wearing these boots, these motorcycle type boots, and you've got the little silver tabs and spikes on them and stuff. So the nice detailing with that as well. So this figure stands just under 7 1/4 inches tall. And here he is next to the Tech Noir figure, and they're pretty close to the same height. Looks like the new figure is maybe a hair taller, but for the most part I would say they're about the same height. Articulation is okay on this figure, but it's definitely the weakest thing about it. The head you can turn left and you can turn right, and he's got some down movement, pretty good down movement with the head, but he can't really look back very much. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so he can get his arm out good, and he's got good rotation. He's only got a single hinged elbow, so he can only bend his elbow about that much. Would have definitely liked to seen some double hinged elbows. No bicep swivel, but it does have swivels at the elbow, has swivels at the wrist, and then the hands are attached with those ball joints, so he's got some up and down movement with the hand. He does not have a midsection joint. He does have a waist swivel, and then the legs are attached with ball hinge joints, so he can do the splits pretty good, and he can get his leg forward pretty good, and he can do his leg back pretty good as well. He's got a swivel up there, up high there at the ball joint, and then he's only got the single hinged knee, so he can only bend his knee about that much. Again, it would have been nice to have some double hinged knees. He does have rotation there at the knee. He's got rotation at the boot cuff. And then for the feet, he's got hinges, but really not a whole lot of up and down movement. He does have rotation and a little bit of pivot, but not really a whole lot. So I really wouldn't say he's got ankle pivot. And then 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I like this figure. I like the way it looks. I like the sculpting detail, decent paint applications. I like the weapon accessories and the alternate heads. The downside to this figure is the articulation is a bit on the weak side. Things like double hinged elbows and knees would have been really nice, and even some ankle pivot would have been good as well. But as it is, I think this figure will go nicely with the rest of your Terminator figures from NECA, and this figure is hitting shelves now. We'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. And as always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to those in the video description below. And until next time, I'll catch you later.